Aaron hates his life and is angry with himself for allowing his weight to get so bad. He is 30 years old and he has no idea what his current weight is. He dreads waking up every morning because it means he has to face his weight. Could this be the wake-up call he needs to get better? Let's find out, shall we? His story starts this way.
Life is pure torture because I'm in so much pain from all my weight pulling down on my body.
I'm putting too much pressure on my legs, my knees, and it's too much weight bearing on my back.
And I can't get around without my cane now because my legs can no longer handle all the weight.
To be honest, I am very speechless right now. Looking at him go through so much difficulty every morning is crazy. Aaron makes 2 major walks every day, the one to the bathroom and the one to the kitchen. At least one of the walks satisfies his cravings and makes him happy.
It's a struggle for me every day just to go to the bathroom.
I refuse to ask my dad for any help at all in the bathroom though. He's the only one that lives here with me, and I can't let it get to the point where he has to do anything like that for me.
Wow, that has to be the most shocking thing I have ever seen. Aaron has to put a wipe on his cane to enable him to reach his back after using the toilet. That's very bad. He says that he doesn't want to ask his dad for help. How did he allow himself to get to this level?
So when I messed up, usually that meant a pretty severe beating.
He would spank me pretty hard with the belt.
So I was constantly afraid of my dad and what I was gonna be punished for next. And I started using food to help me stay calm. Because when I was eating, I felt good.
Weighing that much at that age is mind-blowing, honestly. Aaron says that his food problems started when he was much younger. His dad was a very strict person, and there was no room to misbehave. Anytime his dad spanked him, he would console himself by eating.
Especially from one of my older sisters, Margaret.
Aaron and I had sibling fights, as all siblings do. We'd argue about everything, but I was the only person in my eyes that could pick on him or say anything mean to him. You know, little jabs here and there because he made me mad.
Aaron must really hate his life to say something like that. It sucks that he feels like he is never going to have an amazing romantic life, and that he feels like he is not worth anything. Things have to change real soon. He can't keep feeling like this.
And they were both in their 60s. I was around 550 at the time, but I was only about 20 then, so I could still get around. And they needed someone to take care of them, so I decided to move back home to help take care of them.
That's the problem with food. Once you start eating so much and you make food your happy place, there's almost no going back. And Aaron is a perfect example. Even when he was certified as a caregiver for his parents, he couldn't go all the way for them due to his weight.
I need to hurry up and get in the room. So I get up and run to the bedroom, and my mother's sitting up in her mobility chair, blue in the face and not able to breathe. I'm panicking, not understanding what's going on, trying to get her to tell me what's going on, and she's just struggling to breathe.
Wow, that had to have broken him into a million pieces. Aaron practically watched his mother die, and there was nothing he could do about the situation. The sad part is that his mom died because of her weight. If that happened to me, I'm not even sure I would ever recover. Poor guy.
I worry that it's going to be too much for my father at some point, but it still doesn't stop me from having him do this, because this is the only way to get the groceries I want.
You got the list, right?
I hope so. Aaron cannot get in and out of the car easily, and he can't stand and walk very far because he doesn't have the strength.
That's not good at all. Aaron's dad says that he loves his son but hates his eating habit. He doesn't say anything about it because he doesn't want Aaron to get mad at him. Well, if he wants his son to stay alive, he really needs to talk to him about his eating habits.
Actually, food is going to take everything from me.
All right, guys, everybody ready to eat?
I know my weight is going to kill me soon if I don't change. My biggest fear is that I may not even have time to lose weight before some part of my body gives out.
You can't deny the fact that Aaron is surrounded by a family who loves him so much, but deep down, he knows that he needs to do something about his weight, or else he is not going to be around for much longer to have all this love.
And if something happened to me on the road, it could be very dangerous for me because I'd be stuck with no place I could rest in the heat. So I'd probably be dead within an hour if I had car trouble or anything like that.
I'm just glad that he has finally decided to get the help that he needs. Being his size, he is exposed to a lot of health conditions that could make things go bad really quickly. He is heading to the hospital to see the doc, and hopefully he can start his journey and get help as soon as possible.
And now that I'm here, I'm even more scared than I was because my entire life and whether I'm able to live much longer is completely riding on this. And I have no idea what to expect or what Dr. Now is gonna say. So I'm terrified right now.
700 pounds is a lot of weight. Even Aaron can't believe that he weighs that much. I really hope hope he is cut out for what's ahead of him. Losing all that weight is not going to be easy, and I'm sure Dr. Now is going to feel the same way.
Everything you can to keep from losing your ability to get around and to stay active. So we have to turn your whole situation around right now because you're very close to your body's breaking point and it's going to give out very soon. There's a good chance that you have less than 6 months to live at this point.
Let's hope he takes everything Dr. Now has said seriously. The doc told him that he has less than 6 months to stay alive. That's if he keeps eating the way he does. Right now, he needs to start exceeding and reducing the amount of food he takes in. He assures the doc that he is ready to go what it takes.
The only thing I can even try to do is look after my niece and nephews while she's at the hospital all day. And it's making sticking to Dr. Now's diet a lot harder because the food I have to make for them aren't things on the diet. Being around this food is hard.
That's not good. That is really not good. Aaron has to watch his sister's kids while she is away at work. The thing is, watching the kids means he can't go outside and take walks that would help him lose weight. It's understandable that he loves the kids, but his priority right now should be his weight.
If I don't make it, I'm afraid it'll mean I'll have lost my only chance to have all that. Because I've run out of time. Me and my dad are back at Dr. Now's for my second appointment. The last time I was here, I was 718. That was 3 months ago.
Like he said, that number is extremely disappointing to see. He did lose weight, but what he lost is not even up to half of what the doc wanted him to lose. I sense a scolding session coming up.
It's very unfortunate that nothing changed with Aaron over the last 3 months. He's being given a chance to save his life, but he's still choosing to make excuses. And as sorry as I am, Father struggled with his health, and that it was a scare for all of them.
Phew, that is scary, and I'm not even going to lie. As expected, Dr. Now is not happy about Aaron's progress. It's even scary because his body is starting to give up, and Aaron hasn't made any significant progress. I really hope Aaron starts to put in the work.
And Dr. Now said I've lost enough to show him I'm staying on track. Yeah, I'm scared. I know, I'm trying not to be here.
Everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be...
Losing weight is not easy at all. Aaron is having an emotional moment right now. He got approved to get his weight loss surgery, but he is scared that the surgery is not going to be a successful one. You can see the fear in his eyes. Thank goodness his sister is there to reassure him that it's going to be all right.
But if Aaron goes home and starts to slowly push himself to overeat, he can start to stretch his stomach out over time to get it back to its original size. So when he goes off his liquid diet, we'll start him going to psychotherapy to begin the process of him dealing with his emotional issues. For now, his physical drive to eat is suppressed by surgery.
Aaron's surgery was a success, and he has his sister right by his side for all the support he would need. The job isn't done yet. Surgery is the first phase. Hopefully, from now on, Aaron can lose weight on his own.
30 to 50 pounds of excess skin in total. And removing all that will help you to your goal too. All right, how's your dad doing?
He's doing great. He's doing really good. He's really proud of me.
That's great. He should be because you have done great. I'm proud of your progress. Keep the good work.
Brandon has allowed his body and weight to get out of control. He is 33 years old and he weighs over 600 pounds. His morning routine is the worst because he goes through so much pain just trying to stay clean. Will Dr. Now be his saving grace? Let's find out. His story begins like this.
And they feel like they're gonna buckle at any moment. And to make it even worse, I have severe lymphedema, which are these huge masses that have formed on both of my legs that hang and pull on my inner thighs. So it makes it even more painful to move and get around.
At least he has a reason to wake up every morning and put some effort into trying to clean himself. Brandon doesn't want his girlfriend to help him out in the bathroom, so he struggles every morning to clean himself, regardless of how painful it is.
So I'm not letting myself become bedridden. But I know I'm getting closer to that point whether I like it or not, because even basic things are hard for me. And I'm terrified of falling anytime I'm up, but especially when I'm in the shower.
That must be very depressing for Brandon. No one should ever look at themselves in the mirror and feel like they are a monster. It's honestly breaking to see that this is what he thinks of himself. If only things did not get this bad.
Thanks. Taylor usually brings me something before and we eat together.
What do you want to drink?
I'll take soda, please. And it's hard to describe the incredible. It's amazing. And nothing in my life has ever been able to compare.
Well, he might have to start second-guessing that. Brandon gets so much satisfaction from eating fast food and sodas. He eats with his girlfriend before she goes to work, and from the looks of it, she also seems to be on the heavy side because she eats as much as he does.
And it's been that way for a while now. Growing up, I wouldn't say my home was a peaceful place. My parents were constantly fighting, so there was a lot of screaming that would escalate into things being thrown at each other. So that's mostly what I remember of early childhood. And during those times, I would just normally be in my room. But before I would go to my room, I would go and grab as much food as I could and take it with me.
I think we're staying to get the picture. Brandon's weight gain started as early as when he was 6 years old. His parents would always fight, and he never wanted to be around them when it was happening. He would lock himself in another room with food while his parents yelled at each other.
And that's when my mom started to take notice of how big I was getting. So she started to get really critical of my weight, and her comments increased, and I took it as an insult. And I started avoiding her as much as I could because it would just always lead to a disagreement, usually about what I was eating, and I would get really upset. But around that time too, I started getting closer to my dad.
I guess we can call Brandon a daddy boy. Brandon says that he loved spending time with his dad. Unlike his mom, his dad never made him feel bad for always eating. As much as we can say that his dad was just being the best dad in the world to Brandon, allowing him to eat a lot was not a good idea.
So my weight rised because I wasn't eating like I had been for most of my life, because I was happy. But my senior year of college is when everything came crashing down again. I was 21 and I went home to visit, and I found out my dad wasn't living there anymore. He had been having an affair for years, and my mom found out and they split up. And I was just in shock and devastated.
And just like that, his relationship with his dad went down the drain. Brandon's dad had been cheating on his mom for a long time. When Brandon reached out to talk to his mom and try to work things out, it blew up in his face and he had to kick his dad out of the house.
I'm not sure when I probably crossed the 600 mark. If I had to take a guess, I would say somewhere around 27 or 28 years old. And it started to get really hard to do even basic things around then. But I was still trying to get out and go places. And I'm glad because when I was 28, I met my girlfriend Taylor at church. We were just talking and we hit it off. So I asked her out and she said yes and we started seeing each other.
Aha! I can't believe she just said that. Brandon's girlfriend says that the first time she saw Brandon, she could not believe that people could be that big, but she fell in love with him when they started talking. That just shows that Brandon has an amazing guy. The only problem is his weight.
And I often ask God, why was I made different? Why was I made with this craving or addiction to food, where no matter what I do, it only seems to get worse. So it makes me feel broken, and I don't know how to fix myself. But I know I'm at a point now where my eating and my weight are at a limit, and I'm gonna die soon if I don't change.
There's no lie in that. He has to do something about his weight before things completely get out of hand. It's good that he knows he has an eating problem, and he wants to try to fix it before it's too late. Looks like he might be ready to see Doctor now.
This could send Brandon into a spiral downward. I mean, that could just be really hard for him to hear that, but I would still be there for him, and I would definitely help him through whatever he feels after that.
And I'm already starting to feel a little overwhelmed, but I'm thankful. At least I have Taylor with me for this whole trip to help me when I need it. Not just physically, but also emotionally.
You just have to love it when people with weight problems have partners that are willing to go on their weight loss journey with them. Brandon says that as long as his big girlfriend is by his side, he can do anything because she knows how to motivate him. What a beautiful thing to hear.
The other thing I'm nervous about is finding out what I weigh now. I'm hoping I'm still in the 600s, but based off of the last time I was weighed, I think I might weigh over 700 pounds. But I really hope it's not that bad yet, because making it that high would be a whole other level of
Their faces say it all. That weight is not going to be easy to burn down. Brandon and his girlfriend make it to the hospital. Brandon checks his weight and sadly, he is over 700 pounds. Now he's heading to see the doc and he is scared as hell.
For that long without basic checkup at your weight. And we need to make sure there's nothing going on with you right now that could, even something like your blood sugar, it can be too much for your body to handle. So you can't do that.
That's the best Brandon is going to get from Dr. Now. He tells Brandon that he has to start losing weight as soon as possible if he wants his lymphedema to get any better. He has given Brandon 2 months to make improvements before he decides what to do next.
I'm keeping track of every calorie I eat with the food journal, and Taylor is right there with me. She's helping me prepare healthy meals, and her support right now means a whole lot to me.
You don't add anything else to it, right? Just that?
Yeah, I'll take extra cheese and...
Man, all I can say is that Brandon has the best partner in the world right now. She's doing the weight loss journey with him, and Brandon seems to be making good progress. His next meeting is in a month's time, and he hopes that he will have made decent progress by then.
And I make sure that I cut all the sugar and carbs out of my diet and my intake.
Good. That's very good.
Yes.
Are you getting any support at home?
Absolutely. Taylor has been doing the diet with me. She's lost weight as well.
I'm trying to do your diet too, so.
Good.
Boy, am I glad to hear that. Brandon has proven to be unstoppable. Dr. Now is proud of both Brandon and his girlfriend because they've both lost a significant amount of weight. Dr. Now approves him for weight loss surgery, and they are the happiest people in the world right now.
And moving ahead on my journurney.
Hello, Taylor, Edward.
Hey, pleasure to meet you.
Brandon will be here shortly.
All right, perfect.
So I'm just go ahead and get started. Unloading some stuff.
Dr. Now said he didn't have a problem. Rescheduling my surgery for a month later.
Can't argue with that. It's really going to be devastating if he doesn't get his surgery. Brandon and his girlfriend have moved down to Texas in preparation for his weight loss surgery. He is to see the doc one more time before surgery, and he hopes everything is going to turn out fine. Fingers crossed, I guess.
And we also remove his gallbladder. So we will get him to recovery now so he can rest. For the first month, he's going to stay on liquid diet, and that should help him to lose at least 40 pounds in that time. And after that, he should be able to lose at least 30 pounds a month until he gets close to his target.
As you can see, Brandon had a successful surgery. Dr. Now says that what's left is for him to continue to heal and slim down, because if he goes back to his old ways, it's not going to be good for him. Let's see if he can continue to lose weight after surgery.
And if you start losing a little bit more each month, then we can definitely have you there. Sound good?
Yes,
Okay.
excited.
You're doing great, and I'm proud of your progress. And you're gonna be one of the few people that have lost 500 pounds in another years.
Awesome.
I'll see you both soon. And if you need anything, give me a call.
Thank you so much, doctor. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Here's Cynthia, whose weight is already above 600 pounds. Every morning for her felt like a scene from a horror movie. She would wake up with constant pains and body aches that left her unable to do anything, and her journey began like
the pain
this.
is intense. My ankles are swollen all the time. My knees are constantly in pain. My body is pretty stiff because I haven't moved all night, so it's hard for me to walk, and I have to take a lot of breaks.
That's a very horrible feeling. Trust me, having to be trapped in your own body, I would lose my mind if I were in her shoes. Her weight problem got so bad that even her family members
Once
started
I get
to
out
feel
the
like she was a
shower,
burden.
my daughter comes in and she'll clean out the back of my legs because my arms are too short to reach.
Mom, she tries to do everything. She tries not to be lazy. She tries to do a lot, but she can't.
Ukaya helps a lot. She is a 40-year-old woman in an 11-year-old's body.
Isn't Cynthia lucky to have such a sweet daughter? Imagine having to go through this all by herself. It would definitely have been crazy, but her weight problem didn't just start. Right from when she was in 5th grade, she noticed that she was way bigger than most of her schoolmates.
Third grade, I was bigger than the other kids. And I was probably in like a women's 20 by the time I was in 4th and 5th grade. But my family never made a big deal about my size.
Size was something that was seen as, kind of a birthright.
Of course, she was going to be bullied. Kids back in the day were never really nice to each other. Cynthia's weight was getting to her in all kinds of ways. The worst of them all was the fact that she could not play with her kids as much as she wanted to.
So I have to watch from the parking lot. I can see the benches in the playground area, but they're too far for me to get to. And there's nothing between for me to stop and rest.
On a scale to 1 to 10, how much I would like my mom to be out here is 100. It makes me kind of sad seeing my mom standing by the car and she doesn't get to play with us.
This has to be every mother's nightmare. I mean, who wouldn't want to spend time with their kids? You know what was more annoying about Cynthia's situation? It was the fact that she couldn't stop herself from eating and adding more weight. Take a look.
I stopped to get a snack. Hi, I need 3 large jalapeno, calato glaze, twists, a donut hole, a small orange juice, and a large orange. I am a special education teacher. And being a teacher requires being on your feet all day.
If she loves her body, she better slow down with all the junk she's feeding her body. After having several fights with her brother, Cynthia finally realized she had to find a way out of her situation. So, she paid a visit to Dr. Now, and this was how the visit played out.
I have some pretty unhealthy eating habits. I eat in excess if, it's just something that I really enjoy. I eat a lot of it.
So you don't get full?
I get full, but if it's something I enjoy, I'll...
I mean, isn't he right? It's pretty incredible that she can take care of all her kids with her weight. Anyway, the doc told her that she had just 30 days to lose 30 pounds, or else he wasn't going to approve her to get her weight loss surgery done. Is she going to be able to lose 30 pounds?
I am 6 pounds short. I don't know how the doctor's going to react, but I hope at least he sees I'm trying.
I'm still proud of you, though.
How y'all doing?
Good, and you?
All right, so you lost 24 pounds.
Well, she sure didn't meet her target to get approval for her surgery. But was that going to stop her from putting in the work? Oh, you can bet it wasn't. She actually did put in the work, and guess what? She got her surgery done. But I must tell you, it was a lot of work for the surgeon.
To perform a sleeve gastrectomy in Cynthia. We have to be very careful not to do anything to push her body over the limit, but we also have to work fast. Turn the room lights off, because the longer she's under, the greater the chances of a fatal event occurring.
That was not a pretty scene. Oh well, she had a lovely surgery at the end of it all. All that was left for her to do was recover properly and try everything possible not to end up in her previous situation.
How's she doing?
Let's hope she can do
I'm only
that.
gonna get a certain amount of information.
I'm good.
The worst pain that she has is probably when she sleeps, because she can't get comfortable.
Take the pain medication to help you relax.
Clarence, that's okay. Pain medication is not gonna fix me being able to sleep on my stomach. And it hurts to sleep on my back.
Most times, some of these guys never know how much damage or harm they bring to themselves, all in the name of satisfying a craving. They keep feeding their bodies with junk and eventually end up in situations that could almost end their lives. This was how Ashley R's story began.
I would have my white picket fence, I'd have kids, but my life is nothing like that. It's a nightmare. My entire body is in constant pain. I'm completely miserable. It's a struggle to just move at this weight.
Do you need me to help you up?
I can't do anything on my own.
I mean, what could be worse than feeling the way Ashley R feels? No day went by in Ashley R's life where she did not shed a tear about how she looked. To make things even worse, she always had to ask for help whenever she wanted to do anything.
Because it's just painful. It is painful sitting there. It is painful holding myself up. It is painful when my mom scrubs my back.
It's really hard for Ashley to take a shower. I have to help her because if I'm not there, she has to ask her husband to do it.
Trust me, you do not want to find yourself in Ashley R's shoes. The funny thing about Ashley R's situation was the fact that when she was much younger, her parents noticed signs that she was going to have a weight problem. How did that happen? They noticed that Ashley R was the only chubby kid in her class.
But I always assume it's baby fat. It's gonna go away.
Back in the days, we didn't think that was something wrong with Ashley. We thought that was just part of life, that she was healthy, and she was just loved to it. We never thought that was gonna be a problem later on in her life.
Wow, that must have been one hell of a traumatic situation. I mean, why would her uncle do such a thing? That's just sad. Moving on, when Ashley R met her husband, at the time, how much she weighed didn't matter. But over the years of their marriage, things started to change.
What I really loved about her was her sense of humor, her charisma, her eyes.
We did things. It was like a normal couple. But each year I kept gaining more weight. So we had to stop our outings. We had to stop doing what we normally do because I wasn't able to do it anymore.
It's normal for every husband to take care of his wife, but in her husband's case, he might need to get paid because he does everything literally. What was even more annoying was the fact that, despite her size, she still couldn't stop eating,
Even though
this was the reason she gave.
As I'm eating, I feel numb, and it's better than feeling stressed. Every time I get out of the car, my stomach is so large that it presses on the horn.
You don't need me to tell you how much she hates her body after that. Anyway, she finally made a bold step and decided to pay a visit to Dr. Now. Even before she got to the hospital, she was already terrified of what the doc was going to say. Well, this was how her visit went.
Biggest challenge with your eating habit?
I'm usually just snacking all day long.
So why are you doing that?
Because I'm hungry.
I know I shouldn't eat like I do.
But in everything I eat, I feel so guilty about eating it. I know that I'm not supposed to be eating, sweets or sugary things, but I crave them and...
That does not sound comforting one bit. But he had to be very sincere with her. She was killing her body with all the food she was consuming, and if she didn't stop, she was not going to make it to 40. Listening to all that, she put in the work and finally got approved to have her surgery.
So you lost 54 pounds. So how is your eating habit now?
I measure everything, I weigh everything in ounces, make sure the portions are under control. I have more protein, and now I don't snack at all.
Okay, super. Ashley's done well this month. Losing 54 pounds has demonstrated that she's able to control her eating habit.
That has to be the best news she has heard in a long time. Anyway, the surgery day came and Ashley R. had a very successful surgery. All that was left now was for her to heal and try to maintain a healthy life. But for Ashley R., it wasn't as easy as she hoped it would be.
Walk again, but you gotta walk through the pain. I feel like my stomach's like compressed like this, and when I stand up, it slowly releases. It's just, I guess, baby steps at this point. I wish I had my entire family here, but I have Daniel next to me. I don't know if I could do this without him.
Thankfully, she has her husband by her side to help her make a quick recovery. Imagine her having to go through the healing process alone. She would have lost her mind. Even after the surgery and drastic weight loss, Ashley R. still had issues with her eating habits. At this point, let's just say only God can save her.
Your situation and how you ended up here.
Well, I've been battling with my weight my entire life, and I had weight loss surgery.
Okay. How's it been for you since the surgery?
I feel like I'm disappointed in myself and my body and the way that I'm recovering, because before my surgery, I was exercising and I was so energetic. And now I'm just really uncomfortable with the nausea and the fatigue.